Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Back with another video a day till this channel hits 100K. Yesterday was day 30, and I thought to myself, 30 is good enough, but we're back with 31, gonna keep this streak alive. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I was posting videos about the Banks iDash Pro. More specifically, I was actually kind of pissed off. I shared my opinions, and Banks ended up contacting me. Honestly, the great companies are the ones that can take critical feedback and they're not afraid to continue engaging. And I gotta tell you guys, had a lot of conversation. I've since really kind of grown into this iDash Pro. It's definitely a better gauge than the outgoing, all of those things. I still am giving away my old iDash, which really isn't all that old. It's only 7 months old, on gearsandgadgets.com. You can check that out. I'll link it down below. That giveaway is going to the end of this month. But I'm on the phone with Banks, and the marketing guy's telling me, like, look, have you ever taken a look at the Pedal Monster? And I started laughing because I had a competing product to the Pedal Monster years ago with my 2015 GMC Sierra, and that thing threw check engine lights. It was like a complete disaster, kind of jacked up the whole truck. I had to reset all the codes and like pull it off because it was a nightmare. And I shared this with him. I said, yeah, I've got experience, not interested. He said, let me send you a Pedal Monster. I want you to take a look at it. And he did. What's insane about this and what I love is that I can make a video right now that will be better if I tell you guys that it's trash. I do not have any affiliate links with Banks. No ties to Banks, other than the fact that they were just willing to engage with a guy who kind of just punched him in the chin a little bit. Now, I've also shared that I've appreciated Gale Banks and his willingness to do that across the industry.
Here's a representative of all the flat back covers you've seen on the road for the last 20 years. The fluid dynamics is so effed up.
To me, that's just super cool that they're willing to engage with somebody that they could have just wrote off and not engage with at all. So I'm gonna check out this Pedal Monster, and I'm gonna tell you guys if I hate it, because I hated Pedal Commander. Pedal Commander was what I had before, and I hated it. It was the worst. Pulled it off the truck immediately. Don't believe I ever even made a video about it. Wasn't sponsored, just kind of went about it myself. So let's see if the Pedal Monster is any better than what I had previously. And I'm also interested to see how this thing hooks up to the iDash Data Pro. Let's check it out. I literally know nothing about this thing. So we're gonna go check this thing out together and see what it's all about. Now, one thing that I'm actually not sure of, and I was just thinking about, is I don't know. First of all, let's roll some windows down because lighting is atrocious in here. Oh, we're actually going into a regen now. I put my little SD card back in here because I pulled that out for another video I was doing. One thing I don't know, I actually have no idea what I'm gonna do here because I already have both OBD. I've got the OBD2 connector, which this connects into, and I have the Y cable, which splits it out because I also have the running boards plugged into that. And I'm not sure if this needs its own OBD2. It probably can't, right? How does this connect? This is all that it is. I'm pretty sure this actually just connects to the iDash. I love nice colored instructions. It's always a welcome touch to these kinds of things. Pedal Monster with iDash. They do tell you remove it before going to the dealer. I'm assuming that's just so you don't trigger any questions. These dealerships get like really weird about aftermarket stuff. This actually looks like the pedal or the iDash connector. We've got that, so I'll have to take this back out again, which is not a big deal. This is the connection that it makes to the pedal itself. See, it's a little bit of a blind operation here. What I like to do when I can't see stuff like this, take my phone. This is where it's easy just to take a photo and see, like, what am I looking at? There's my little red clip. So I need to press that bad boy, pull it up, and red clip is up. Now this should unplug. There we go. And now we'll get our plug end. And this only goes in one way, which is very nice. Pop our little red in the right way. It's basically just two connections. This is gonna go back into the pedal. There we go, little red tab down. And now we are connected. bring it over to the side over here. Bring it sort of over towards the OBD2. We need to take our cable, which is going to run up to our Banks iDash, 10 millimeter combined with an Allen. Now, if you're installing an iDash without this little gauge pod that they sell, these are both, I believe, just 10 millimeters. Now this cable, so this works in either port, so we'll run it in either port. And then this is gonna run up through the side of the truck here. Just got to route that. Just gonna hog this hole out a little more. All right, that should be good. And connected. Pedal monster. Let's follow the same route. Connected. So now we will fire the truck up. Do we see anything about pedal monster? We do not, but we do see a DPF alert. Banks. It's connecting to the iDash Pro. Connect pedal monster. Connect. See if it makes that connection. Looks like it does. Oh, there's a button on the back of the module. Where are you? There's a little button on the back. We will press that. Looks like we are in pairing mode. Continue. Start calibration. So here we go. Now let's see how this works. Calibration complete. I'm interested to see how this works. No check engine lights. All right, so I'm gonna get this thing all buttoned up and let's go for a drive and see. Do I hate this thing like I hated the pedal commander that I had? Let's see how this thing rolls. Let's see, how do I, oh, there we go, there's a pedal monster gauge. That's pretty neat. Oh, page 2, pedal monster. Oh, so you can change it. City. I have to play around with that a little bit. So let's go for a ride. We're actually ready to, oh, reverse mode. He was telling me about reverse mode. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's pretty cool. But we actually have a regen here that's going to kick off because we are at 100%. And there we go, active regen. Moment, what I did, I'm waiting here for traffic, is I set it up so there's only 2 pages. I went into the Banks app, and if you hold this button here, it'll go between page 1 and page 2. And here you can see I'm able to change throttle sensitivity, go down to stock, go city. I'm actually gonna pump this up to like mid-sport. I'm interested to see how this works. And here we go. Whoa! That is different. That gets up and goes. That is so much different. So mid-sport, just a tiny little bit of throttle input. You'll see what the OEM is commanding and then what the pedal monster is commanding, and sort of see that delta, which is really cool because I mean you can feel it, but it's also cool to have like a visual there that shows you that difference. Let's pump it all the way up to maximum. Oh, it's telling you have to do it while it's zeroed. So I'm off the gas now. My Lord, you can see that delta between just the minor throttle input and what the pedal monster is doing. And it's so much more responsive, like ridiculously more responsive. And most importantly is that I'm not throwing any check engine lights, which is what my experience previously with another product like this was. Now, they also have the ability to change tip-in so that the first small amount of throttle input that you're putting in isn't really as aggressive, and that as you put more in, it commands more. And I'm gonna mess with that. But so far, this is pretty legit. All right, so I just drove for, I don't know, quite a while. I went through a whole regen cycle and then went and got gas and stopped at Costco and just kind of driving around with this pedal monster. And I gotta say, I actually really enjoy it in this sport mode that we're in. And it's basically like mid-tier of throttle sensitivity. Being able to go in there and adjust the ramp for how sensitive it is off the rip is really awesome. When I was in the Costco parking lot, it's nice to have it in sport mode, but when you're under 10 miles an hour, not have it being super twitchy so you're not mowing down a family at Costco. And then also it has reverse mode, so that when you go into reverse, you're not getting that same throttle sensitivity. You don't want to have a super sensitive throttle when you're backing out of a parking spot, and that is fantastic as well. So far, I have had no check engine lights, and that is not something that the pedal commander, I think it was called, was able to say. I had a problem with that right off the bat. Obviously different trucks, things like that, but I think Banks's claim to fame here with this pedal monster is that they're pulling power not from the pedal itself, but from the OBD2 port, which means that they're not like interfering with that electrical signal in terms of power draw off of that pedal. And there's also apparently more fail safes in the pedal monster than there is in some of the competing pedals as well, or throttle modulators as well. And what I'll say is, like, the way that this works is like you're not getting more horsepower, you're not getting anything more than what the vehicle can give you, but you're getting it sooner. And it's felt. I mean, just even tapping the throttle, you're basically getting that power quicker than what you get it with the regular OEM throttle mapping. And that's really what you're doing, is just changing how quick you're basically calling for that power. I think they kind of refer to it as like torque delivery, the command that you're getting from it. And I can tell you, I noticed a difference right away. So what's interesting with this is that I think that the conversation around the iDash Pro and the pedal monster, I was kind of voicing some frustration with how expensive this iDash Pro is, but being able to pair it to an app that's also connected to your pedal monster kind of makes it a whole ecosystem of not just having the iDash presenting you with data, but also having the pedal all in the same app, and that makes it a much better experience. So I think I said one of my videos early on about, like, okay, cool, it's great as an app, but I'm also getting like app fatigue. But having an app that's touching more things than just the iDash is great. I was also able to go into the app and set up the gauge layout and turn off additional pages, because for me, I only really care about the 2 pages that I have. And you'll see right here now, if I hold this button here, it goes between page 1, which is my normal typical iDash setup, page 2, which is basically the pedal monster, and then also some minor like regen type stuff as well. So kind of set it up the way that I need it, but I also don't want to have to page through a bunch of unnecessary pages that I don't need. And that's nice to be able to do that in the dash, or I'm sorry, in the app, as opposed to doing it in the actual iDash itself. So there's some value there, and I think, again, as like a whole product, having the iDash Pro and the pedal monster paired together makes all the sense in the world, and it's kind of cool how they do that. So I don't know, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. I'm definitely sold on the pedal monster as of now. I'm going to do a review on this down the road, and I tend to say, like, I'm going to do a review if there's anything to report, but I think when it comes to the pedal monster, I'm going to do a like 2,000 mile in review. Right now we're at 9,900 miles and 9,907 to be exact, and I'll come back in here around like the 11.9 mark to kind of share with you guys what it was like over the course of a while, because if there's going to be any electrical issues, they could creep up down the road. But I have pretty good faith in this, and if I didn't, again, because of the experience I had with the one that I had before and how it tripped out the entire truck, I'm very leery of this kind of thing in general, but for where I'm at right now with this one, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So again, I just want to give Banks the credit where credit's due, because I was critical of the iDash Pro. I made videos where I was like, meh, expensive. The fact that they were willing to send out a pedal monster after that kind of goes to show that, like, they're not scared of their own product, nor are they scared of anybody who's going to be critical of the brand, and I find that to be super rad, and those kinds of companies are absolutely worth celebrating, and I have no problem doing that. So thank you, Banks. I'm super pumped about, I guess, the whole thing at this point, more so because of how Banks responded than maybe even the product itself. And again, that's worth talking about for sure. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys next time.